this week's Cruise Chat. I'm Kathleen Penner, owner of Plenty of Sunshine Travel, and today I'm joined by Sean. And Sean is from Virgin Voyages, and this is my first opportunity to sit and meet with Sean. Although I have met with Virgin Voyages multiple times, there is a playlist that I have for every cruise line that I've met. So go back and look at some of those because we've got some really great brand overviews. But make sure that you stay here and watch this presentation because we've got some exciting things to discuss, new itineraries, just some great things to go over. So over to you, Sean.
Thank you very much, Kathleen. Thank you very much for joining us. And for those that are new to the brand, I'm really excited for you to take a look at some of those wonderful videos that we've curated in the past. And today is a little bit more of an update because we've got some new ships in the water, which is quite nice. I want to update some visuals on the cosmetics of the ships, as well as talk about one of our brand new itineraries that is set to debut in May of this year in 2023 in and around the Adriatic. So a lot has changed, or a lot has been updated since the last time we connected, because a lot more wonderful Canadians have taken advice of their wonderful travel professionals like Kathleen here and jumped on board some of our lady ships. And we are now the highest rated cruise line on TripAdvisor with the most 5-star ratings.
Oh,
Which is
exciting.
absolutely phenomenal, yes. And it's not even that just the consumers or the sailors coming on board and loving it. Our agent community are recognizing our experiences thus far. So some things like from Cruise Critic, we've been awarded the best dining, the best nightlife, and the most inclusive award, which is quite nice. We attract every type of individual on a Virgin Voyage because the whole focus around it, again, is come and sail as you are, right? That idea of relaxed luxury without the pretentiousness associated with it. The other thing that's been coming up as of late, which has been great, is the value for the money. When consumers put cruise line beside cruise line and they're looking for, at the end of the day, what is the best value, we've been awarded the #1 spot for 2023, which we're quite proud of.
Oh my goodness, that's phenomenal. Wow, congrats.
Thank you. Yeah, and you know what it is? It's that idea of, you know what, at the end of the day, figuring out what that total cost is. Right. And the fact that you have so many different things included in your voyage fare with us, it just makes sense, because sometimes when you jump on a cruise line and you're presented with, oh, you can pay X for this, you then have to then logistically think, can I afford that, or do I absolutely need that?
Right.
If it's already included in your voyage fare, people are excited. Right. And they're willing to try or experience these different things.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than being worried at the end of the cruise. Oh, great, what's my balance going to be? How many times did I have to literally open up my wallet? So it's nice to go in knowing that you don't need anything else should you choose to, and not worry about having that big balance at the end.
Absolutely. I mean, I think we've all been on experiences where whether it's land or cruise, where, we have our budgets. And then when we get off, we're like, wow, I totally blew that budget. And I'm not talking necessarily from like a beverage perspective or maybe some like shore excursions, but just these little things that add up.
Yes.
Right. I've paid more to get off some ships in my life than I ever did to get on the ships.
Yes.
So when we look at these, look at our lady ships, just as a quick little recap, remember we've got all of our 4 lady ships are exactly the same in terms of the size, the layout of the ships, but they've got different, I always say, different shades of lipstick or a different dress on, right? It's a little bit of a different kind of decor, but again, the fundamentals are all the same.
Right.
And they all max out at that 2770 in terms of sailor counts. They all have 1,150 one of our crew members on it. They have 1,408 different suites and cabins on there. They're 110,000 tons. And of course, they're 912 feet. And this puts them in that medium size ship category. So if you're looking, is this a big ship? Is it a small ship? It's right in the middle. And it's right near the cusp between like middle and large.
And it's perfect too, because if you get turned around and you end up going to the after the ship looking for something, it's not a 20-minute walk to go to the front of the ship. So it's perfect in that way.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a power walker. A good 6-7 minutes, I'm on the other side of the ship, right? So we have our 4 wonderful lady ships. The first one is that Scarlet lady. She lives currently in and out of Miami. She's named after one of our first Virgin Atlantic planes. So she's taking that ode to what got us really into travel from a Virgin perspective as her namesake. We then have Valiant Lady who spends her winters down in the Caribbean, hanging out with her sister, and she comes from the Latin word for straw.
Oh,
Right. So she'll be spending her time in the Caribbean and then she's repositioning very shortly over to Barcelona for her summer season.
nice.
Now, the next ship is the one that's debuting very shortly. So May 14th to be exact. And
Mhm,
Resilient Lady is our ode to our wonderful community in the travel industry. We've went through so much over the last couple of
mhm,
years. So her name is to say thank you to the beautiful community, both our travel advisors or our first mates like yourself,
mhm.
and all of our wonderful sailors out there that have stuck through us and came back to travel so strongly.
Yeah, and you remember when Virgin was about to debut, and I think it was like a week after the shutdown, like of travel stopping because of the pandemic. So it was really, I can see why you would name it that because it is certainly we went through a whole lot and now we're on the other side. So it's something to celebrate.
Exactly. We
Yeah.
are on the other side, and that's what we're happy about. And then
Mhm.
our last ship, we have possession. So all four of our ships are physically in the water. This one is really just getting the last little bit of the interior taken care of. And this is Brilliant Lady. And
Yeah.
she is our ode to the fierce women around the world, right? She is going to be a phenomenal ship, and she's going to spend her time in San Juan, Puerto Rico. And
Mhm.
very soon, we're going to announce where she's going to spend the other ports. So look out for
Okay.
probably the end of March or
Mhm.
early April to say where she's going to be spending the rest of her time.
Exciting.
Yeah. And these ships are all going through all various different ports. So we always say that we've got a port of call for whatever you
Mhm.
fancy, really, at the end of the day. We've got a duration for whatever you fancy, starting at 4 days, all going up to technically 15 days in some of those beautiful repositioning cruises through Southeast Asia. So some amazing, amazing different itineraries that your travel professional like yourself can help you organize.
Mhm.
Now, when we look at the cabins themselves, we've got a variety of different cabins for every sort of individual based on their preference as well as budget.
Mhm.
So for those that are looking for a little bit more of an economical spend, don't necessarily mind being in an interior room, we've got our insider cabins, and
Mhm.
there's 105 of these cabins across all of on each of our ships, and
Mhm.
they range up to 177 square feet.
Okay.
Right, so great value associated
Mhm.
with these cabins. For those that want and prefer a little bit of view,
Mhm.
I actually really enjoy the sea view ones. I spent some time in this, and that little bench with the porthole is a great place to read a book.
Mhm.
Just kind of, I would I'd go up to the galley, fill up my coffee mug, and I just sit there and watch the world go by, which is very
Nice.
peaceful.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
And there's 95 of these, and they go up to 190 square feet,
Mhm.
which is quite nice. But most sailors are coming on board for these, our beautiful
Mhm.
sea terraces, right? 86% of all of our cabins are these variety. And they go from 220 to about 265 square feet. And the larger ones, the only difference is what they're referred to as XL cabins. So
Mhm.
these are perfect for people that might be sharing a cabin, maybe not with a partner. Maybe it's a friend, right? And they want to have a little bit more room within the washroom.
Mhm.
So what it is it's a full vanity, and then it's got a washroom and toilet closet. So you have a little bit more privacy. So someone
Mhm.
could be, brushing their teeth, for instance, and someone could be using the shower, and you wouldn't be seeing one another. If you know what I
Right.
mean? Kind of
Yes, you
idea.
can still get ready for your day while the other is a little bit behind than you are. Yes.
Yes, exactly, right? And that
Yeah.
happens,
It
right? And that
does.
also happens with couples and partners
Mhm.
too. So there is those options out there.
Absolutely.
Um, and then you've got those wonderful hammocks that
Mhm.
are available for your use. I'm not going to lie, I fell asleep in these reading a book, just relaxing. What about you? I know you've been
Yeah.
on the ship.
Oh, it was beautiful. I loved being in that hammock. It's very, very comfortable. I have a slight disability. I walk with a cane, so my legs sometimes get really sore, but laying in that is perfectly weightless. It was just so nice to just lay there and relax. It was beautiful. And you just hear that ocean breeze and you just feel, oh, it's amazing. It's someplace you don't mind spending many hours on.
You know what it is? It's like me being in a car. If I'm not driving, I'll fall asleep right away.
Right.
So for here, with the crashing of the waves, just that peacefulness, I was out like a light. So I think next time I'm jumping on board, I'm going to buy one because you can purchase them, and I'm going to put
Yeah.
one in my backyard.
Oh,
Maybe
perfect.
an ocean sound machine or something like that
There
in the
you go. A little bit of
background.
white noise. Yeah, it sounds good. Just to bring back those
Ex-
memories, right?
exactly. Just only in the summer, because when it's cold out, I don't want to be out there, obviously.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah. So all of these cabins have lots of different amenities that are across the
Mhm.
board. Some of them is like that rain shower that's in the washrooms, whether it's in the regular washroom or in the XL cabin. That mood lighting experience, so whatever you fancy in
Mhm.
terms of mood, you can change it through our iPads. And then,
Yeah.
of course, that sustainable model with our red flower collection of bath and shower products.
Yes. And thinking of the iPad, I did a whole video explaining all the features of the iPads, and that's also in the playlist. If anybody wants to go back and look at that, I did a complete walkthrough of every little option you can do on that iPad too. So it's there
Awesome.
waiting for you. Yeah.
Awesome. And then for people that want a little bit more of an upgraded experience or a little bit more room, let's say, we've got two different styles of Rockstar suites. And these
Mhm.
suites, please reach out to Kathleen soon for if you're interested, because they do sell out extremely
They do.
fast.
Yeah.
These
Mhm.
range from about that 350 to just under 900 square feet. And there's 63 of these ones across our ship. And what they do is they've just got elevated experiences or access, right? So
Mhm.
you still get access to all the wonderful things on the ship, but you've got some things that are curated just for that rock star experience.
Right.
So one of those things is that the Richards Rooftop, which we can show a visual after for. It's got an in-room bar that's curated. So if you're a gin drinker, we can substitute a couple bottles here and there and add some more gin, for instance.
Mhm.
You get priority access to booking things, so your reservations, your shore excursions, and your shows. And then
Mhm.
you've got access to that concierge that can help you if anything does arise or you have any questions.
Right. Perfect.
And then when you move into the other category, right, the
Mhm.
mega rock stars, this is where you grab that guitar off the wall, you plug it into the amp, and you rock out. And these go
Yeah.
up to almost 2,200 square feet. So these are massive suites, and literally that suite is called a massive suite.
Mhm.
Um, and these are what sweet dreams are really made of, right?
Oh,
You look at it, you've got these beautiful washrooms, you've got great common areas or lounge areas, and then we elevate that outdoor experience. So not only do you just have a hammock and like a chair or
mhm.
two and a little table, you get loungers. And some of these suites also have their own private hot tubs.
Mhm.
So they're
Amazing.
pretty neat.
Yeah.
And they include everything that our regular Rockstar suites have,
Mhm.
plus a little bit more. So if you're that type of sailor that is moving maybe from a all-inclusive over towards, and you're looking at cruising as an option, this
Mhm.
has a daily bar tab associated with it. So while we do have those wonderful bar tabs that I know
Mhm.
Danielle has spoken about on those other videos, what this one does is actually for any drink that is $25 US or under, it's included.
Oh, wonderful. Yes.
Right.
Great
So if you
value.
want to have
Mhm.
like beers, rum and cokes, or whatever the case may be, those are
Mhm.
all included. And then you only need to utilize a bar tab for anything above $25, maybe
Great.
extra premium alcohol,
Mhm.
bottles of wine, bottles of champagne.
Yeah, yeah, those top shelf ones, but, pretty much I
Exactly.
think a majority of them are 25 and under, so you're pretty set. That's great.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity. Plus, it gives you access to obviously the spa, that
Mhm.
that curated bar that was in the regular one. It just is bottomless, so we just top things up as we need to
Right.
as well.
Mhm.
So some really nice amenities. But my favorite thing is every time I get on, I try to sneak my way in. Now, I get a little bit of privileges from just being a staff member coming on,
Right.
but just to take a look at it, I can't hang out in here. But the Richards Rooftop is probably one of the best aspects of
Mhm.
having a Rockstar suite. This gives you those chances. There's dedicated loungers, there's your own hot tubs, and we'll have pre-cocktail hours where we'll be pouring champagne very freely for people,
Mhm.
and we'll even do some late night parties underneath the
Right.
stars. And if you want some great views of whatever water you're on, whether it's in the
Mhm.
Caribbean or the Mediterranean or the Adriatic, it's just beautiful up here.
Yes, absolutely. Very nice.
Did you have a chance to come up and take a quick look when you were
I
there?
I did get some pictures, yes. I wasn't staying in a suite that included it, but I was allowed to go and get some pictures and kind of wander through really quickly, and it was really, oh, it was a stunning area. It was really nice. A lot of relaxation. I like the shade that kind of, came with it, that covered over. It was quite a nice place to go. Makes me want to
Awesome.
upgrade next time. So
You know what? And that's the thing, right? When even
yeah.
if the budget it isn't there for a Rockstar suite, you can get one of our wonderful like sea terraces and then put a bid in for an upgrade. And you
Mhm.
never know, right? It's a great way of, you know, testing your luck in a way, but also reaping the benefits of a little bit of a discounted opportunity if a suite is available.
Absolutely. Yes.
Now, when we look at some of those common areas on there, you know,
Mhm.
we've got that aquatic club. So that is our pool. And yes, it's a little bit of a smaller pool, but the idea of this one is to get wet, cool down, and socialize,
Right.
right? So this is one where people will be in the main area there where the steps down. People will be, I'm 5'7" on a good day, let's say. So it's just to my shoulders, basically.
Yeah.
So you can get pretty much fully immerse yourself in there, but you get out, you sit around the darker blue areas or hang out on the
Mhm.
day beds or on one of the loungers around the deck.
Nice.
Um, we've got that beautiful spa here that
Mhm.
keeps getting new and new different treatments and such like that. Remember that gratuities are all included in your fare.
Mhm.
So when you buy a spa package or spa treatment, you're paying whatever that price is. You're not expected to tip on top of that because it's all included in that aspect.
Which is a wonderful value.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Right. And then you can actually get a day pass as well.
Yeah.
So if you just want to go use the plunge pools while you're on there, you can get a
Mhm.
great day pass and enjoy. And then at nighttime, a DJ comes out. We will bring some cocktails out and we just have a fun, relaxing time in there.
Mhm.
And of course, we've got a casino for those that are interested in gambling. For those that are used to larger ships,
Mhm.
this is a quite smaller casino, but it does have all the amenities that people are looking for
Mhm.
whilst they are gambling. And of course, we couldn't be Virgin Voyages without that little nod to our musical history,
Yes. Mhm.
right? Um, but it's a fun place to do. I every time I've been on, I've purchased a few records from my collection. Some to replace ones I had as a child that had, you know, were abused. Let's put it let's through the '80s
Mhm.
and '90s, and
Mhm.
then discarded for many years in a basement.
Yeah.
So I've replaced some of them through here. But it's also just a fun little nod to our musical history as well.
Yeah, it's great.
And then, of course, that idea of that seafair, right? The
Mhm.
tattoos and the sea have always been linked. So why not put that permanent memory on your body? You've got great rotating staff of artists from around the world.
Mhm.
And if tattoos aren't your thing and you're looking for a new piercing or maybe some permanent makeup, those are also options for you out there.
Right.
And of course, the food. Now, I know that when Danielle
Mhm.
did one of the last ones, we were looking at a lot of conception photos, which was great because a lot of them weren't in the water yet. So I wanted to just update some of those imageries for you. But we've got the Wake, which is our steak and seafood restaurant,
Mhm.
an amazing restaurant that's also open for brunch. Made a little famous, I guess, from the time on The Bachelorette as of recent.
Right. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
exciting.
which was fun, and I'm
Mhm.
sure with our next sailing with some of our activations with our chief lifestyle activist with Jennifer Lopez, we'll probably have some fun things in here coming up as well. But here are some of the wonderful dishes that I was able
Mhm.
to enjoy on board.
Beautiful.
We've got Gumbay, which is
Mhm.
that lively Korean barbecue restaurant. Did you have a chance to eat here as
I
well?
did. It actually turned out to be one of my favorites. I thought I'd like the steakhouse, but I really liked the conversations I had with other sailors at the table of eating here. It was a lot of fun.
Did you eat there like early on in your journey, or did you eat like near towards the end?
I was on a 5-day cruise and this was day 3. So it was kind
Okay,
of
that's a good
more in the
spot.
middle. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
find this is a perfect place for, especially for introverts. Like I believe I'm a passionate introvert. I think this job has just made me, you know, naturally come out a little bit more.
Right. Yes.
But if you're traveling solo or you're an introvert, this is a really great opportunity on day 1 or day 2 to network with other people because you're going to run into people throughout the ship, and it's a great. Like I went, met some fantastic people, and then they joined me for dinner on other restaurants on other nights.
Oh,
So it's a great
perfect.
networking
It
opportunity.
is. It's really nice. And I love cruising for that because you get the time to sit down with like-minded people. And then as you're passing, you just have that friendly face and you can say, hey, what did you do today? How was your short excursion compared to mine? And you just end up chatting away. And I like that.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And my favorite dish, even though it is that Korean barbecue and like that beef and stuff like that, it's a
Mhm.
natural linkage towards that. The spicy chicken is something I crave. Every once in a while, my mouth waters thinking about that spicy chicken.
So you need to come up with a copycat recipe, huh?
Oh, I've tried. I'm trying to work with our executive chefs to just pass it over. I know what the main ingredients, but there's something I just can't duplicate yet.
Yeah, absolutely. That
And
hidden
then, well,
spice they're not going to share. So,
yeah, it's like the KFC, right? Like there's something in there that you
yep.
just don't know what it is.
Mhm.
So, and then we also got that Razzle Dazzle. So this is our vegan and vegetarian forward restaurant.
Right.
This one is named after that camouflage pattern on World War I and World War II planes, for people wanting to know where that came from. But this has that wonderful naughty menu. So that naughty menu is non-vegetarian and vegan offerings. When I was on, I had an amazing buttered chicken. Did you try the
I
naughty
went there
menu
for
at all?
breakfast.
Okay.
I didn't go there for dinner, but we definitely went for breakfast, and it was really tasty.
Excellent. So maybe you had some of the avocado toast, maybe?
One of those things, yeah. I'm more of a bacon and eggs kind of gal, but my husband is the healthier one of the two, and he had the avocado toast. Yeah,
You know what? It's all about the yin and the yang, right? Kind
that's
of
right.
idea. Yeah, I love that old fashioned that's in the popcorn box there. When I
Yeah.
first got it, I was like, what the heck is this?
Yeah.
But it was quite nice. And the popcorn just is a nice little snack as you go, kind of
Mhm.
idea.
Yes. Yeah.
And of course, that beautiful test kitchen where we're really trying to, dissect, deconstruct, and reconstruct meals in a different way, in a different perspective.
Yeah.
And I love
I
this
didn't
one.
make it to that one, but I like how they teach you how to take pictures and how to enjoy things a certain way. So that's kind of neat.
Yeah, it's a great one. And you know what it is? It's like I love the fact that, to be truth be told, I was never a mushroom guy. I
Hmm.
didn't like mushrooms at all, but I had a dish, and that's what the chef on the left hand side is creating. He's making a dish out of mushrooms, and it's broken different ways and presented on the far right of how it
Hmm.
finishes.
Yeah.
And I came home and I ordered a pizza, and I threw mushrooms on it, and ever since I've been eating mushrooms. So the test kitchen has converted me into a mushroom eater.
Perfect.
Just,
Yes. More adventurous
so
eating
let's
is always good. Yeah.
Yeah, so now only if someone can do that with seafood, I'm sure people in my life will be very happy with me. Um,
I think you and I are very in sync. I hate seafood. And yet it's like, you're on a cruise, you're supposed to have it, but no, I'm
you
good.
know what? I come
So,
from an Italian background, and that's a great segue into this one where seafood is so prevalent in our culture and and our general eat
mhm.
that my grandmother was always like, she's trying to force it down to me. And I just, for whatever reason, I've never enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Um, Maybe because everything was fried at that time.
that could be.
But who knows?
Mhm.
Right? But
Yeah.
when we move into that extra virgin, that Italian restaurant, this is
Mhm.
where like literally the light bulbs of my family past comes out, because it's more of a regional specific
Mhm.
cuisine, right? It's very heavy on like very rich pastas, the
Mhm.
charcuterie boards, the table side dessert creation. It's just a beautiful, beautiful experience. I loved it so much that I got to, there's that tipping point when you eat, right?
Mhm.
Where you're full or then you're just uncomfortably full. I
Yes,
got to the uncomfortably full every
uncomfortably
single
full.
time.
Yep, I agree. We went where you could only make one reservation at each restaurant at that point. And
Okay.
so I got in there once and I'm like, I would go back there in a heartbeat if I could have. It was so delicious, amazing. There were so many dishes that I would have tried, and you only have so much room in your stomach. So
Oh yeah, I
yeah,
stretched my stomach. I'll
there
tell you
you
that.
go.
To the point where I got back to my room, got in that hammock, and I woke up the next morning.
Goodness. You had a food
So
hangover.
I
Yeah.
definitely did, right? And then instant regret in a great way because I missed probably a really amazing night on the ship just because I had the itis going on in my stomach.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
and then of course we've got that pink agave. So pink agave
Mhm.
again, this is an elevated process, an elevated experience. This is taking that vibrant street food from Mexico City and then just bringing it up. So
Right.
super colorful, an
Mhm.
amazing collection of mezcal. And then at night, in around like 9:30, 10 o'clock, one of our resident DJs will come in, play some down tempo lounge house music.
Mhm.
Great place to have dinner, and then move over towards the bar area for a cocktail or two,
Yeah,
which
nice.
is quite nice. And then here are some of those dishes.
Oh, good.
And then, of course,
The
this
galley.
one, the galley, right? I love the galley. What did you think of this?
You know,
It's
I
different.
really thought at the beginning, I was like, that's a really weird concept. Let's just see what it's like. And I went and I'm like, this is brilliant because your food came fast, hot, delicious and no waste. And I really like that. And that was one of the things that, sometimes you don't have a lot of time because you want to, quickly go out to shore. So you went there and I'm like, oh, how long is this going to take? I have to order. Within minutes, you had your food, but it was so delicious. And I don't love buffets. I'll say that truthfully, I don't like it. And this was perfect for me because there was no waste. There wasn't anything, I needed to worry about in that way of like, oh, look at all this food just going to be thrown out. But it was just absolutely stunning and delicious and so diverse with all the different restaurants you can order from.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
That the fact that it's fast, the fact that it's 24 hours. So if you got
Hmm.
some, late night munchies, if you were, you can go join. And what I really love is where that sushi place is on the left hand of this photo. It
Hmm.
also, especially for breakfast, it doubles up as like a bento box. So
Yeah.
you can get. So there would be some days I was on there for, I was on a speaking engagement for one of them,
Hmm.
and I was like, oh. I'm running a little close on time. So I grabbed a
Hmm.
bento box with some yogurt and some fresh fruit, and I was on
Amazing.
my way,
Yeah.
right? Which was great. And then once I had finished my speaking engagement, I
Hmm.
came back up and then I had a proper dinner. So
Right.
if you are on the fly for whatever reason, you've got some great food options
Yeah.
available
And
for
it's
you.
so sustainable because they're reusable containers and nothing goes to waste. I loved that.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So when
I
you
liked
finish
eating
your eat,
outside there, to be honest. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I
oh no, no,
liked
go ahead.
sitting outside and just, relaxing outside, and they still came and took your order, and you got to have those ocean breezes while you're eating breakfast too.
You know what? That's true. And even like
Yeah.
the pizza place, when you go to the pizza place, I always went outside as well.
Mhm.
Because I do enjoy that fresh air kind of approach of
Yeah.
dining.
Yeah.
Now, some things that are also a little bit have been updated since the last time we came onto your wonderful show is
Mhm.
some of the actual shows.
Okay.
So, what people come to visit us on Virgin Voyages, they're looking for something different. They
Mhm.
understand that we are obviously the adults only. We will push that limit a little bit in terms of that entertainment. But
Mhm.
what we also realize is because our ships are sister ships. They might have sailed in the Caribbean on Valiant Lady, and now they're in the Adriatic on Resilient. And while the ship itself hasn't changed per se, we need to upgrade the software. So we're not talking the hardware. We're talking about the
Yes.
software
Mhm.
elements. So very similar to our favorite shows here at home, we have seasons, right? Sometimes seasons get renewed. Sometimes things get put on pause. Sometimes,
Yeah.
later down the road, things are rebooted.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
that's our thought process around some of our entertainment.
Mhm.
So right now we've got some really interesting and some new shows that are across our lady ships.
Yeah.
So the first one is a new like game show
Oh,
kind of
exciting.
approach. And this one is done in the manor, and this
Mhm.
is the misbehaving game show, which
Okay.
is quite
Yeah.
fun.
Mhm.
We've got it's a ship show, and this is like a dinner theater cabaret kind of thing, which is quite nice. It looks very low budget. It's meant to be low budget, so when you get on the side, you've got these cardboard signs, a little tongue-in-cheek comedy
Yeah.
towards it, which is quite nice. We're bringing in some more different, like rotating comedians now,
Mhm.
some magicians and specialty artists that are supporting those wonderful individuals for with our happenings cast and creating these pop up kind of events throughout it, which is quite nice.
Mhm.
We still have that dual reality. That's a continuing show, and that's our retelling of Romeo and Juliet with
Mhm.
that little bit of that Cirque du Soleil kind of show to it. And
Nice.
then we're still continuing on that Untitled Dance Party show,
Mhm.
right? I Did you see that one by any chance?
No, the only one I saw was Scarlet Night, and they kind of did a dance show all around the ship. If that's what you're referring to, like the character, not characters, the cast members came in and did a dance, and then went off and did it for somebody else in a different area, and kind of rotated around the ship.
It's a little similar but a little different. So what the
Mhm.
Untitled Dance Party is, it's in the Red Room Theater,
Mhm.
and basically what it is it's a rotating stage and experience. So for lack of better terms, you'll be sitting in a traditional theater seating,
Mhm.
watching the show, and then you'll get up out of your chair. The actual stage and stuff will change, and then you're like right face to face with the performers, which is
Mhm.
quite different,
Okay.
right? So it's one of those things you can be part of the experience, or you can
Yeah.
just kind of watch the experience,
Mhm.
which is nice.
Mhm. Oh.
My favorite show, however, is Ships in the Night.
Mhm.
And this is that storytelling of like the by chance interactions that we all have with one another that we
Right.
don't realize.
Yes.
Have you ever met someone you're like, oh yeah, I totally remember you from X, and you don't remember seeing them or ever meeting them at that
Yes.
stage of your life?
Mhm.
That's this experience. And it's something that, just resonated with me as an individual, and I really loved it.
Good. Yeah, neat.
Yeah. And then the new one, which is starting on resilient, which will be a great segue to our talk on like one of these new itineraries, is
Mhm.
another rose. So I'm looking forward to seeing this later this summer when I jump on board Resilient Lady.
Cool.
Now, before I do, we introduced this new thing, and this literally came out on Valentine's Day, so it's really fresh with us. And it's the idea of now we're voyaging together. So this is a great opportunity for when sailors are coming on board to celebrate something. So
Mhm.
is it a girlfriend's trip? Is it a stagette? Is it a divorce party? Is it, hey, it's January, let's get the heck out of Canada celebration?
Mhm.
Regardless of what it is, we have this opportunity now to have this celebration together. So what we've included in this is like our bottomless brunch. So you can have mimosas,
Mhm.
basically unlimited mimosas as you go through your brunch experience. We've got a dinner party that we'll set up with our mixologist with curated beverages and desserts as well for
Mhm.
you. And we upgrade the champagne kind of elements for four people. So we added all these little things plus some nice little drops in the cabins for people within that party, but just for like-minded people that are celebrating just for the heck of it. It's a great add-on to create an even better experience whilst on
Absolutely.
board.
Yeah. Yeah. Wonderful.
No, we're really excited for this. This is
Mhm.
starting in April.
Okay.
So if you're watching this before April 2nd and onwards of 2023, you can definitely do this.
Perfect.
And then, of course, we know that we've got a lot of great sailors that have
Mhm.
sailed with other brands before and now are looking to, explore the Virgin Way. We've got some great status matching that Kathleen can help you out with if you are interested.
Yes.
So, some pretty fun things.
Yeah,
But what I
absolutely.
wanted to share is this baby. This
Mhm.
like well, not this. This is Valiant Lady because I didn't have a new photo of Resilient yet,
Mhm.
but our featured itinerary.
Yes.
And this is one of our new itineraries, the Adriatic Sea and Greek Gems, which is a 7-day journey in and out of Athens. Um, it's getting a lot of great steam from the agent community and the consultant community throughout Canada. Our
Mhm.
sailors are looking at it and being like, this is an interesting way of exploring the Adriatic.
Mhm.
And it's great because it's even though it's in and out of Athens, it's actually really focusing around Croatia, Montenegro kind of idea, right? You're just using Athens for the most part as your port
Mhm.
kind of
Mhm.
idea, right?
As you're jumping off
Uh,
to go and see all the
yeah, yeah,
other locations. Yeah. Great.
exactly. Right. And so this from a visual perspective is kind
Mhm.
of where we're going. Um, and from a port perspective, we've got a few of our signature differential points, I guess, if you were, with us. So while we've got those two sailing days between when we start and when we end, we're going to be spending some later nights in some of these ports,
Oh,
which gives you
excellent.
the opportunity to do maybe one or two different shore excursions, or
Mhm.
do say a morning shore excursion and then explore on your own, and try different things. Like for me personally, I can't wait for Dubrovnik because I've got a really cool, like a few cool like shore excursions that I want to do.
Mhm.
But then I want to hit the restaurant scene. So right now I've been like scouring the internet trying to figure out what restaurants I need to go
Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
right? And then I'm making those reservations now because I
Mhm.
know that I don't have to leave until 10 o'clock.
Oh, it's
So I
perfect
have
to
an
take out
ample
the
I have an
nightlife.
ample dinner, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And that's just one of the fun things. Like I love planning, and that's sort of the thing that I would do. Just dive into the itinerary and say, what am I going to do when I'm here? And what are all the great, exciting things that I can check out? So that's fun. And you're there
Exactly,
long enough to
exactly.
do it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and this is why a lot of people are coming towards Virgin Voyages, right? They're one, the ships are great. They love the service, but when it comes to where we're visiting, we're spending more time where people want to,
Yes.
right? I
Yeah.
remember as like a teenager and even probably as a young adult traveling, with whether it was my family or with friends, and finding a cool place, and but then being like, oh, we got to get back to the ship because it leaves
Yeah.
at 6 o'clock or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you know traditionally you're not hanging around the port, you're a good like half hour, an hour away, so you got to factor
Right.
that in,
Yeah.
and you have to leave
Only
at
there
three
for a couple
o'clock,
of hours. Yeah. Not as much
right?
fun.
So,
Those
yeah.
13-hour days are just perfect for this location as well. It's you can really dive in deep. There's so much to see and do.
Yeah, and even like I know we're not going to speak of this one, but the even the just the Greek gems itself, it actually has almost 2 full days in Mykonos,
Beautiful.
which
Yeah.
is quite nice,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's really nice about these ports, I mean, they're what right, from the most part. But what we've done with our shore excursions or our shore things is we've given so many different options out there for the clients to decide based on budget, physicality, or just general preferences what they can do. But so we're
Mm-hmm.
in and out of Athens. We're from the port, so it's about a 35 to 40 minute drive there. I highly recommend anyone coming. I know, Kathleen, you'll always say get there the day before, but I
Yes.
would say get there 2 days
2 days
before,
before. Yeah.
explore Athens,
Yep.
right?
Well, not only
Um,
just to get used to the time zone and the location, but to explore because you're really not there long. I mean, you're leaving and you're coming back at the port. So you want to be able to dig in deep. There's so much history in that area, and there's just a wealth of things to see and do. So you really need a few days to do it.
Absolutely. And our pre-night hotels are right by the Acropolis, which is a really great opportunity as well.
Yes.
Um, when we get into Split, that's where you get those Roman ruins, just that
Mhm.
large city experience, but it's very energetic,
Yes.
right? Like I was in Split 15 years ago, 17 years ago now, I guess. And I can't wait to see how it's evolved because when I went, it was beautiful, but it was untapped. I went backpacking through it, right? So it was a very different experience than I'm gonna assume I'm gonna get now in my mid 40s type of experience. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
And then, of course, Dubrovnik, you get that splash. It's a
Mhm.
little bit more of that youthful city kind of idea. It feels like it's got a younger vibe, a lot of interesting nightlife experiences. There's this beautiful cave bar that I want to go explore. So there's actually a couple. There's one that's a full-on nightclub, which I don't think I'm young enough anymore to do. But there's a great hotel called Hotel Cave. And
Mhm.
if you go down into their basement, there is a beautiful bar within a cave. So I'm looking to do a cocktail or two in there. That's on my list. All
That's cool.
right.
Mhm.
And you've got Kotor, right? So that the opportunity in Montenegro, nice beaches. There's some pretty cool different churches and just historical walks that I think are really great. And then getting into Corfu, and I want to do those beach club vibes. I want to get some cocktails. I want to sit on the sand. I want to people watch. I think this is going to be that amazing place
Yeah.
to go.
Yes. Absolutely.
Right. So what I've done is I've kind of picked a few of our shore things that I
Mhm.
thought were like pretty interesting. And truth be told, there's can't hold me to exact number, but let's say on this itinerary, there's probably 120 different things to choose from, like across the board. So don't take this as an absolute. These is just some things that really sparked my curiosity
Right.
when I
Mhm.
was looking at it. So one of the first ones is this wonderful Riviera kind of escapade.
Mhm.
And this is like a lounging kind of like a lazier kind of approach to things. And I'm kind of all about that.
Mhm.
Right. So this is that opportunity. It's a 6 hour journey. It's just under $200 a
Mhm.
person right now
Mhm.
for it. So you're going to be like just basically exploring from these like little boat rafts kind of idea. So you're not going to be in these yachts. You're going to basically break it down to being a little bit more relaxed. You're going to jump on some floaties. You're going to be able to explore some caves, do some
Mhm.
swimming, do some snorkeling, and really, I think just live your best life in
Yeah.
Dubrovnik.
And it's less people than the big yachts too. So you're going to get more of the individualized personal experience too, which I think is lovely.
Yeah, and from what I've read, it looks like there's about like 6 to 8 people per one of these little boats kind of
Right. That's
experiences. So
great.
you get to network with other people while
Mhm.
you're on there, which is great. And who knows, maybe some new friends that you're going to meet or get to connect with when you're on our larger ship after.
Yeah.
You can't put me anywhere, and there's a cable car, and I will 100% do it. I love cable cars. I think they're scary, to be honest,
Mhm.
but I think they're
Mhm.
just a beautiful like bird's eye view of where you are and a great opportunity to be like, ooh, I want to go explore that when I get back on land.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And this
Absolutely.
one gives that.
Awesome.
So you're going to see like the beautiful city walls. You're going to see the fortresses. You're going to see all that natural landscape and those beautiful rooftop colors, that terracotta color on there. And
Mhm.
then once you're done, you're going to get back into the main town. You've got a guided tour, and then you're free to explore. So I love guided tours because it gives you that quick little like cliffs notes of of where you are, and then
Mhm.
based on your personal preferences, you can like circle back and be
Yeah.
like, okay, I want to spend more time here.
And it gives the locals point of view as well, which is, one of the things that you want more than anything, as opposed to just, oh, well, this is where all the tourists go. It's like, no, 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 this is the best restaurant because we live here and we still go there. So you want that
Exactly.
local point of view. Yeah.
Exactly. And so this is a 5 hour tour as well, or
Mhm.
5 hour kind of experience.
Yes.
So remember, we're spending so much time in there. So this is could be just a great morning experience for someone, right?
Mhm.
And then you'd have that whole afternoon to take some of that advice that your local guy gave and explore, or
Mhm.
just do whatever the heck you want, right?
Right. Yeah.
But I'm an adrenaline junkie. I love adrenaline based kind of things. So
Mhm.
this last one that I'm showcasing is top on my list.
Mhm.
Um, Super high up. I had to convert it because me and feet don't work really well. So it was 980 meters
Okay.
high. So pretty high up there. A really long zip lining experience. Just taking that landscape experience. I think it's just a really cool, you know,
Yeah.
pushing that envelope a little bit
Amazing.
with
Mhm.
adrenaline. But at the end, you get into the main city center and you get to see UNESCO heritage. And for
Oh,
me,
lovely.
I have a list of UNESCO heritage sites around the world that I've been trying to kind of like check off, and I
Mhm.
haven't been here, so I'm looking forward to exploring this.
Great. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
neat.
and
And
this is
when
a
are
four
you doing this
hour one.
itinerary?
I'm going to be doing this on July 2nd.
Oh, lovely. That's
So
not far
right
away.
when it's
Good.
like
Yeah.
really, really hot.
Yes, of course, of course. So why
Right. So
not, right?
I got to work on the tan a little bit before so I don't fry, but I'm
Yeah.
really looking forward to it.
And
But
yet I'm
what
going
you
to
can
Iceland in July, so I'm going to be in the other side of the equation of that.
But
Goodness.
Iceland in the summer is quite nice,
It
to
is.
be honest. It's beautiful, especially for like that light. If you can do some like light hikes,
Hmm.
very light ones, it would be really cool.
Yeah.
Nothing too crazy, but some light hikes.
Yes, right.
But what we've got and what you can help with your clients when they come in is we've got these beautiful booklets that are downloadable. So I've just taken one example here,
Hmm.
one page. So each of our ports, regardless of where you are in the world, we create these books.
Yeah.
So give a quick little recap of the place you're going, plus all of the different shore things that you can do.
Perfect.
It's going to
Yeah.
give a
I
quick
love
little
those
description.
destination guides. Yeah.
Yeah, gives you a quick little description of
Hmm.
what's out there. It's going to tell the price. The prices are always in US dollars for
Hmm.
these, just for people that know. It's going to tell the length of the excursion, and
Hmm.
then the physicality around there. So if you don't want to push the envelope, maybe just like an easy or a moderate kind of one would be
Hmm.
ideal.
Hmm.
And for individuals making reservations with us at Virgin Voyages
Hmm.
and wanting to book these can be booked out basically 120 days out for our regular sailors, or if you are one of our Rockstar suites, 135 days out for
Perfect.
that.
Wow. So you can
Yeah.
snag the good ones quick.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know what? There's so
Amazing.
many good ones, right?
Hard to
And
decide.
yeah, and like anything else, people kind of sometimes change ideas and stuff like that
Mhm.
too. So always
Mhm.
take a look, and we will
Yeah.
create wait lists as well if something is quote unquote sold out or whatever the
Yes.
case may be.
Yep. Mhm.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I wanted to chat about today. Just kind of
Mm.
showcase a little bit more of the updates of what's going on our ships, and obviously there's always something changing, something
Mhm.
evolving, and that's why I think it's so important that the community in Canada, the travelers in Canada, work with a travel professional like yourselves because you're always on top of everything. You know
Absolutely.
how
Yeah.
things are going. You know what those deals are that are
Mhm.
out there, and if anything on this presentation sparked your interest in Virgin Voyages, reach out. Kathleen's got some really great deals out there to really make sure that you're set up for success.
Absolutely. You can always reach me at info@plentyofsunshinetravel.com and I will answer you right away and make sure that you can get on board. And thank you so much for putting this together. That was just fabulous. I really enjoyed looking at that itinerary because that's fabulous. And some of the new things that are coming on the ship. So I really appreciate you taking the time, putting it all together. I know it's a ton of work. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for doing all this for us. So thank you.
Not a problem. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate you.
Wonderful. Goodbye, everybody. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
I hope you enjoyed this week's episode with Sean from Virgin Voyages. It was really nice to go over that itinerary that he's going to be going on and just to be looking at it. And I loved looking how long they're going to be in port, which is phenomenal. You guys know me, you know I love staying in port for the longest time possible. And I really like that some of the port stops are about 13 hours, and that's great. I also really thought it was great when he showed us that destination guide. Now, that was only for one of the port stops, and yet it showed so many different activities. So whether you want a high energy activity or just lazing around, going on the beach and just relaxing, they have those too. So I really like how Virgin really thought of everybody, and you're able to just do an excursion that's something that's definitely you. I cannot wait to show you some of our great things that we've got planned. Make sure that you know that we're going to be doing a group cruise, and we're going to be doing to Iceland this summer. So check out episode number 107, because they're going to be talking about that. And I would love it if you would join me. Thank you so much for joining me this week. I can't wait to show you all of our fun things that we have planned, and we'll see you guys next week. Goodbye, everybody.